I'm very happy to be talking to Harald Gruber today. He heads up the ICT division at the European Investment Bank. Welcome, Mr. Gruber. Could you just tell us what is your interest in being at this conference, this summit?
Yeah, thank you very much. I mean, this summit, I think it's an excellent opportunity to basically bring together policymakers, regulators and operators, along with equipment suppliers, to discuss issues in the telecommunications sector. And the bank is quite a substantial investor in this sector. Last year, for instance, the bank invested 3 billion euros across the world in the ICT projects. And as such, the bank is clearly interested in seeing what is the discussion on the sector, what are the political priorities, especially in areas like the CIS that are basically emerging.
And what are you looking for in a country that you're hoping to invest in?
Basically, what the bank is trying to do, it is basically a project financing institution. So we are looking for projects to finance. And as such, the projects have to satisfy certain criteria of efficiency. Basically, they have to be economically, technically and financially viable. And these are the overriding objectives for a project. We are looking particularly also on projects which have wider benefits to society.
Banks have had a bad press recently. How is your bank different from other banks that are purely driven by a profit motive? You like to see some sort of developmental criteria behind the projects you sponsor.
Profit objective is not the overriding objective of the bank, but it is rather looking at long-term economic benefits, and this clearly has prevented that the bank is now in problems that perhaps a number of commercial banks are.
Okay, and in the ICT sector, what specifically are you looking for? You're looking for projects that involve a greater rollout of infrastructure which will benefit society as a whole?
Experience shows that competition is one of the main variables that we should look at, because competition, we have seen it in the mobile telecommunication sectors, has led to a very rapid rollout of communication technologies at accessible prices to people. And we see that this model could also be adopted for giving access to broadband. And basically we think that, especially in contexts where the fixed line sector has been relatively slow in developing, mobile technologies have to shoulder quite a substantial part for future rollout of broadband access.
But surely as an investor, a monopolized sector, a country that has an incumbent that has a monopoly, would be of more interest to you because you would get more money back because there's no competition from other operators.
What the bank would like to see is that the projects have wider economic benefits, and this is clearly not the case in supporting a monopolist, because very often monopolies tend to be inefficient and therefore they are a great weight or a dead weight to society, and there is great virtue in making monopolists more efficient. And one of the ways is simply providing competition to the monopolist, which basically helps the monopolist to get out of his problem of inefficiencies.